So on today's show, I wanted to talk about dicks.
Of course you do.
Of course. Not like that. Get your head out of the gutter, everybody. I'm talking about those rude people, those inconsiderate people who you go, what the hell? Why would they talk like that to me? And then sometimes I'm actually a dick. So I can relate even more than most people, right? But Nan said we couldn't talk about that. We need to stay positive. So
we need to stay positive.
So listen up. Here comes the show.
Welcome to the Mormon to Medium podcast, where we'll talk about spirituality, the paranormal, religion, and my journey going from Mormon to medium. I'm Nannette Ride. Thanks for listening. Now let's go have some fun.
Don't be afraid. Close your eyes. There's a moon overhead, but the sun will rise.
Well, hello. This is the Mormon to Medium podcast. I'm Brad, and I'm here with my co-host, the beautiful Nannette.
Hello, beautiful husband.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So quite an eventful week, yeah?
Yeah, it's the crazies are out for sure. It's a crazy week. So, Brad, you posted a couple of things on our social media that caused quite a shitstorm. And I think it's interesting because they weren't negative.
Well, they weren't. I guess some of them could have been considered a little bit poking fun, but I struggle with the whole Relief Society voice because they had a cup of coffee, and because of that little cup of coffee, she wasn't able to get a temple recommend.
Okay.
And neither were any of her children who drank coffee with her. It's absurd.
The crazy thing is like most adults are not going to have their little kids drinking coffee. So it's not going to be something that is seeped into them through childhood and adulthood. And
but you've got to realize that if you're a child and you see your parents drinking coffee, you're probably going to drink coffee when you get older, right? We have friends and they don't let their kids drink coffee, but when they get older, I'm sure they will.
Probably.
And that's okay. That's their choice. And that's what I think is this woman with the good pioneer stock. She let her adult children drink coffee with her and enjoyed their time in the mornings.
Okay, I'm going to just play it so our audience can hear what we're referring to, and then we can kind of talk about some of the stuff that was said.
She was the daughter of faithful pioneer parents who had sacrificed much for the gospel. She had been married in the temple and was the mother of 10 children. She was a talented woman who taught her children how to pray, to work hard, and to love each other. She paid her tithing, and the family rode to a church together on Sunday in their wagon. Though she knew it was contrary to the word of wisdom, she developed the habit of drinking coffee and kept a coffee pot on the back of her stove. She claimed that the Lord will not keep me out of heaven for a little cup of coffee. But because of that little cup of coffee, she could not qualify for a temple recommend. And neither could those of her children who drank coffee with her. She lived to a good old age, and she did eventually qualify to re-enter and serve in the temple. But only one of her 10 children had a worthy temple marriage, and a great number of her posterity, which is now in its 5th generation, live outside of the blessings of the restored gospel she believed in and her forefathers sacrificed so much for.
Yeah, I thought I did a pretty good impression.
You did.
I can recognize the Relief Society voice like a mile away. I hear that and I'm like,
I wonder if it's like a class they take when they get, the calling. If we need to take a Relief Society voice class, and fake like you cry all at the same time.
It might. Well, and I think actually, if you notice, all of the speeches have pretty much the same tempo, the same enunciation. I'm confident they have somebody who is a communications person who teaches them how to cadence their talks.
But regardless of how she's speaking, what she's saying, you took a lot of heat for because you posted it. And you're not even the one that said it. This was in a general conference.
Well, but according to a lot of people, I was mocking their religion, which, do you know what? I'm literally just pointing out something that I think is absurd.
It is absurd. And, medically, additionally, a lot of people, if they drank coffee, they probably wouldn't have digestive issues.
Yeah, that's possible. It makes you poop.
It does. It makes you really regular. I know quite a few people that like have a bowel movement once a week. And dude, that is not good for the body. The body's full of toxins.
Yeah.
Get a cup of coffee for God's sake.
Yeah. I thought we weren't going to talk about dicks. I thought we were just I thought we were going to be positive.
Am I being a dick?
No. We're talking about the negativity on
No,
that
it's
post.
just it's shocking. That's all. That people are uptight about that. That's all.
Yeah.
And you had done a couple of more, like about the porn shoulders and about women being the objects of pornography because men can't control their own thoughts.
Well, and that was a Dallin H. Oaks talk where he literally, it was all towards the men at the beginning and, how they should avoid pornography and all of that, well and good, whatever. But then at the end, he goes, and young women.
And scolds the young women like they're not shamed
When
enough.
you dress immodestly, you become pornography. And I take offense to that. Women don't become pornography. If you are a pervy old man and you look at a girl who has exposed shoulders and you start getting lustful thoughts, that's your problem, not hers. How in the world is it okay to justify blaming women because a man doesn't have any self-control or can't look at a woman and go, you're a person, you're a woman, without having lust? It's absurd.
It is absurd. And it just adds to, what they do to women. And it's just degrade them all the time and have to control them. And, they have to be subservient to the patriarchal order, all of those things. And women, they create with God. I mean, they should be on a pedestal and should be treated with more respect than anything. And,
I just want to point out, men play a fair share in that creation too.
Yeah, but you don't carry a kid in your body for 9 months. So there's that.
Hey, do you know what? That 2 minutes is a lot of work.
Yeah. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. But seriously, I'm realizing by some of these posts and some of the ways I have even been approached on social media lately.
Yeah, you got called out.
Several times, yeah. And not by any, I haven't even done anything.
Do you know what, man? You reposted what I said, so essentially it lumps you into that boat.
But
I'm sorry.
They were great posts, though. They really, really were. They make you think a little bit. And I don't think that they were offensive. I personally don't. If you're going to take offense to something like that, then dude, you need to double check things a little bit. A lot of people with the coffee thing thought that it was a commandment. Was not a commandment, and I got to throw back at the scripture where it says it's not a commandment.
D&C
all the
89
things.
verse 2.
And I mean, know your history. It's kind of like what's going on in the world today. People have forgotten their history. You've got tons of antisemitism going on around. I don't get it. Like, did they not watch history? Did they not watch any of the shows about Hitler and Stalin? I mean, I'm in the middle of a show my daughter got me going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called We Are the Lucky Ones on Hulu.
I can't watch it.
Yeah, no.
It's too sad.
But it's Stalin, and I had no idea these things happen, and I didn't have really great history teachers, so I probably checked out or probably didn't even go to class. But I knew Stalin existed, but I didn't realize to what degree.
Yeah,
and I knew that he had killed more people than Hitler, but not like this. Like, my heart is just broken. I mean,
you mean like upwards of 20 million people is what they estimate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were put in these work camps, like in Siberia, for example.
The kulaks.
And they were made to work. I mean, you're talking bitter cold, and their fingers and toes and stuff are just rotting off of their hands with frostbite. And they wouldn't send in doctors to help them. They were starving to death, like all these things. And I'm
Which
astounded.
is why I don't watch it. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm
hurts to
astounded.
watch.
the stories that are coming from this. So really good show. If you guys, I highly recommend go watch it.
If you
don't
wanna
know your
cry.
history, but if you don't know your history, because that's what's wrong with what's going on in the United States and the world today. There is so much anti-Semitism. They don't remember their history. And, it's disgusting. It really, really is. And none of us are purebreds. None of us
Well,
are anything. And we should respect each other.
Let me throw out this. This is going to be an unpopular opinion.
Is it positive?
well,
Is it kind? If it's not,
Is being anti-Semitic and siding with Palestine different than being anti-Semitic and siding with the Ku Klux Klan or white supremacists?
I mean, technically, I guess it's the same. The thing is, I've seen interviews where people have gone on some of these campuses where these kids are doing these Palestinian protests that are going on and that are breaking out into fights and all those things. And they're asking them, like, why are you here? Well, we're standing up for Palestine. Well, why? Well, I'm not really sure. My friend just got me to come. Or do you know what I mean? They just want to be a part of something. They have all this energy and they want to be a part of something and they think they're doing something good, but they don't know their history.
Maybe they should go to church and then they could be a part of something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did that trigger you?
You're such a dick, Brad.
You're like, no. No.
No, you know what? I have zero story about people that want to go to church and that's where they need to be awesome. Totally awesome. Just don't forget about your spirituality because that is where the sweetness in life lays.
It really is. And I think that that's a good segue into some of the things we wanted to talk about, right? Like, obviously, I threw out the dick thing, and that's not where we want to go. We want to stay more positive. And one of the things we wanted to talk about was spirituality and how you can maintain that close touch with spirit, right?
Well, we're all divine, right? We all came from our divine creator and we have divinity in each of us. And when we're in touch with that divinity, we find peace and happiness and we learn to create, we learn to manifest. And that is where life isn't hard. You know what I mean? You literally can go with the flow, and that's where you begin to heal generational traumas and, childhood traumas, old emotions, old belief systems that aren't even yours.
So as you start working through that stuff, does it help you to become more spiritual or to become closer to creator than if you have those blockages in your energy?
It does, because everything is energy and everything's vibration and frequency, right? So if you have our creator that's vibing really, really high, anything on the other side in the etheric realm is going to vibe really, really high. And for us to be able to communicate with them, get information from them, which we should. We have a crown chakra. We have a third eye chakra. That's your clairvoyance, your ESP. Yes, you're supposed to have that. Your crown chakra helps you get the download from the other side. And you have a whole entire team, spirit guides, angels, ancestors that are there to help. And you should know who they are. And if you don't, you need to find out because they're there to help and they can make your life so much sweeter and so much more rich. And that's, if we start to live from the spirit out, we're going to be more peaceful. We're going to be less reactive, more purposeful in our life and more happy.
I can see that. Absolutely.
When you're vibing high, it just happens. There's going to be less sickness because sickness is a low vibration. And if you're a high vibration, you won't get sick.
So how do you protect yourself against those low vibrations? Because I know a lot of times, you'll have bullshit that happens, right? And it brings you down.
It does.
So what do you do about that?
Well, if you're living from spirit, from the inside out, it's a choice. Am I going to engage this or am I going to just let it pass by? If you choose to engage it, you know that it's going to pull your energy down. Most of the time, what everyone should do is walk around with their protection up around their energy so that they're in charge of how much energy they spend. Like if you've ever been in public or in a really negative area or with a negative person, and then you leave and then all of a sudden you're just exhausted. You're like, I got zapped.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they sucked all your energy away and there's none left for you,
Yeah.
but you let them.
Energy vampires are a real thing. It happens. I mean, we've all been around people like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So being aware of your energy and how you spend it and what you do with it is so, so, so important.
Well, and you teach people how to protect that in your shamanic balances, right?
I do. Yeah. Regularly. And also clearing your energy. Your energy is kind of like a mosquito netting. And throughout the day, you get little bugs on the outside of it, and you have to be able to clear things off. Otherwise, things get a little hazy and it's hard to get the messages that you need to get. And so clearing that off and being really clean with your energy, really clean with your intention, your manifestations, and present in your life in the moment, just being instead of worrying about what's going to happen in the future or what's happened in the past. Those are the things that stick you. Those are the things that drag your energy down.
That's a really good analogy. I like that with the mosquito net. And I've never used one, but I saw them all the time on like Doctari. Do you remember that show?
Too. Oh my gosh. You're showing your age, babe.
Clarence, the cross-eyed lion. I watched a lot of reruns when I was little.
That is so funny.
Yep. I always thought their little Range Rover was so cool.
Is that why you want a Range Rover?
It
so
might
bad?
be. I don't know.
I bet you it is, because every time we see one, you're like, oh, that's such a good looking car. And I'm like, yeah, but you keep telling me how they're pieces of crap.
Well, they don't. The old ones seem to last, but the new ones are, I don't know.
They're not last.
They don't seem to last. They don't have
break
very
down.
good ratings.
No.
They do for a minute. So you could lease one for a couple of years and be fine. But I don't think I would want to buy one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet you it's linked to your childhood. You got good memories.
Maybe that's it. I just want to go and hunt for Clarence. Can we paint it like a zebra? A zebra?
So, Brad, I got a question for you, because you have all of these people that say negative things to you, like about your posts and things like that, and you literally, it's water off a duck's back for you. How do you do that?
I don't care what people think. Literally, it's like, I don't know. And I think, all right, let's go back to the beginning.
Oh no.
So in high school, everybody's concerned what everybody thinks about them, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, am I popular? Am I cool? Am I a dork? Am I, you go through all of those thoughts and feelings and emotions, right? Everyone does in high school, because you're learning who you are.
Right.
At some point, you have to take the high school and you put it away. It goes behind you and you go, I learned from that who I actually am. Because life isn't high school.
No,
And
but you see that a lot in adults.
You
Like
do.
still.
But that's what I'm explaining is
Okay.
once I realize, okay, this is who I am, and I don't need to be drugged down by those lower vibrations. I'm just fine where I'm at. I can say what I want, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine. Really, the only person whose opinion matters to me is yours, my grandkids, my kids, mom, dad, maybe. I don't know. And even then, I'm good enough to go, I can stand in my own space, and this is who I am. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to have any hidden agenda or, anything that you don't know about.
The thing is though, energy is energy, and you're getting thrown shade.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still energy getting thrown at you. So how do you deflect that from sticking to you? How do you do the water off a duck's back? How do you intentionally push that away? I know you don't give a shit. I get that. And by the way, that was part of your
I know I'm
New
supposed
Year's
to give a
resolution.
shit,
You're
right?
supposed to give a shit.
Well, but about people, not about people's opinions. It's different. So look, I think it's always come very natural to me. All of this hooey-wooey bullshit has always come very natural
Oh,
to
you
me.
mean like you did this before and like lifetimes before?
Potentially. But I don't really have to think about it a lot, right?
Potentially. Really?
So yeah, I'm sure I have. And I haven't ever had to like consciously go, I'm going to do this. Now, that's not to say that I didn't, go to the shaman. I didn't learn lessons. I absolutely did. And I learned a lot during that time when I was going through some of that shamanic training. What I think has happened, though, is it just became second nature. And, it's very much like what you teach people to do in your sessions. So I think that that's really the key is you get some knowledge, you get some confidence, and it becomes second nature. And you just go through life and you go, yeah, that's all right.
You kind of just make it your own.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
That's really cool. I've always wondered how you do that because you're always so upbeat. I mean, I rarely see you upset or down. You don't vibe at a low frequency ever.
It takes a lot to really piss me off.
Well, and even when you're pissed off, you vibe high. It's like a high vibration. It's like an in your face.
It's also a quick burn, right? It's
a
done
quick
and
burn.
over.
But when you vibe low, it's usually when you're really, really sick and you vibe low when you don't feel good. And usually it's some stuff that has gotten to you emotionally, things that have gotten to you that make you vibe low, and then you get sick.
Yeah, like COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, that kicked your ass.
That was a horrible company I was working for at the time.
It was so bad. But the company it brought you down first, and then you got COVID.
Yep.
And you got it so badly you almost died. And I literally thought I was going to lose 2 husbands in the month of January, like terrified. But you wouldn't have been vibing low like that if you hadn't have been beat down by your job.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
I just think energy is just so interesting. And I've always wondered how you handle it, because you are up more than down most of the time. And you just don't let people bother you.
Man, is that they might have joy, right?
Dude, I had
Like-
somebody ream me yesterday, and it bugged me. Like for a couple of hours, it bugged me.
Did you let that bother you that long?
Just for like a couple hours, only because, I mean, the person that did this, dude, she was not kind.
Well, she wasn't kind when she said it, but she's been kind to you for a lot of years. She was a good friend, right?
You know, she wasn't accepted in our ward. Like, and so we were kind of the outcasts, you know, so that's how we became friends. And she literally was my visiting teacher for years upon years upon years. And I wouldn't,
What's a visiting teacher?
it's someone out of the Relief Society that would come to your house and visit with you.
They call it a ministering sister now.
Now, yeah. Anyways,
And they being the Mormon church.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's how we became friends.
Okay.
And then after Corey was killed, she showed up a lot, but she was really, really, really awesome. And then over the cup of coffee thing, she reamed my butt. Like, let me know that I was not a good example, that how dare I, disgrace Corey, like all the things, like so low, like.
Well, and I think she really took offense at the end of that video where I go, what the fuck?
But yeah, if people know you, that's funny.
Okay, so maybe it goes back to even when I was in high school, I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave a shit. I was just, I'm going to be me. But I do remember a lot of times, like, I never went swimming when I was a kid. I loved to swim,
What?
but I never went swimming
You're a
because
guppy.
I thought I was fat.
What?
And so I did not want to go swim because I thought I was fat.
You were not fat. You're
So
body
that
is
was
amazing.
So that was my big issue is I was very insecure.
wow.
Yeah. So I had things to get over, and a lot of things, and most things, I just didn't care. I was just me, whatever. And especially when your girlfriend gets pregnant in high school, you learn to just go, okay, it's just all water off a duck's back now.
So you kind of just grew some.
I grew up very fast because I had a teenage pregnancy.
Yeah. That's interesting because it was completely different. I mean, I had the teenage pregnancy as well. And it was very different being a woman with the big fat belly, going through that and all the judgment and all the stuff. And because it was more
That's
shame
absolutely true.
than anything.
Yeah.
And just beat down like you would never be worth anything. No one would ever want to marry you. I never thought in a million years I'd have a hot guy like you. Like never. Because I, got knocked up when I was 16.
Yeah.
That was something that would be held over my head for the rest of my life. How ridiculous. But I believed it at 16 because I was told that.
Yeah.
Like, just
Well, you were also pornography. So
detrimental to a young mind.
yeah, definitely.
Not okay. But thank goodness those things can heal, right?
Absolutely, they can, and that's the cool thing, right? So we can all grow up. We can learn from our mistakes. We can learn from our past, and that's just like you were saying. History is there, so we learn from it, which is awesome. And we can't destroy our history because we don't agree with it. We have to study our history so we don't repeat it.
Exactly. And we will be bound to repeat it if we forget
Yeah.
it. And that's what we're seeing. Like,
Well, and there's a lot of people and institutions that want to delete history, their own history, other people's history, so it matches their narrative currently.
yeah, that's not cool. It's not okay. I think those of us that know better need to keep standing up and standing in their way and saying no. How about no?
How about no?
How about back off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to stand for what's right and not be silent. You know, there's elections that are going on in every single state, and I think people need to remember.
Oh no, Nan's getting political. Just so everyone understands,
I'm a delegate.
Nan became a delegate this year, and she has jumped in to the deep end with both feet. She has been living, breathing politics for the last several months, and
I have.
it's been really cool to watch. She's really done a great job with it. She's gotten to meet all the candidates. She, has really done her homework and been a very, very informed delegate, which is a representative of her friends and neighbors who, rely on her to vote those people into the primaries.
So if you're not aware of the way our system works, at the grassroots level, that means at home, here at home, they have what's called a caucus. And
Caucus.
you love that word. You're so 14. What happens is it's a certain number
Precinct.
of blocks that are in a precinct. They call it a precinct. And so your county will be broken up into different precincts. And so your precinct will meet together. And what they'll do is they'll nominate people within the precinct to be what's called a delegate. You'll have several state delegates, and then you'll also have county delegates. So you've got people that are doing both kinds of things. But when you go to the meet and greets and the debates, you get to meet and watch these candidates, go back and forth with all of the issues. And you get to see the people that are actually in office. And I didn't know this before, but you can actually go and see how these people are voting on different bills. So if they tell you, oh, I vote to lower your taxes, you can actually go and look at the bills that higher your taxes and see if they voted yes or no. Mm-hmm. And then be like, no, you just lied because you voted yes to higher my taxes. Oh, and you're against this, but you just voted for this. So it's kind of crazy. If you're not in it, you don't realize this is happening. But these delegates, they get to interact with these candidates and nose to nose, ask them questions and go back and forth. And there's a lot of dirty laundry and a lot of rumors and things like that go around, and you get to vet things out and actually find the truth. And then you get to feel the truth with your heart and be like, okay, this is the right person. But you also get to talk to your neighbors that are in your precinct and be like, so this is what I'm experiencing and this is what I'm seeing and this is what I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because you are representing your precinct. You're not representing you. It's your precinct. And so when you go and you cast your vote, it's not the final vote. You're nominating someone.
Yeah.
You're not electing someone. You're nominating someone from the party to get on the primary ballots. So you're whittling things down.
Yep.
That's basically what you're doing. It is an awesome system. There's some things in Utah that need to change, but yeah, I highly recommend it. Go find out what your candidates are doing. Go find out what they're voting on, because America needs us to stand up.
Well, and a lot of people go, well, my vote doesn't matter, but it really does. And especially in these primary elections, you make a huge difference. So make sure you register to vote. Go take care of that.
Cast your vote and make them earn your vote, you guys.
Yeah, it's valuable.
It is, because other countries don't even have
there are
this.
some candidates who say it's not. In fact, one of the candidates down here in southern Utah actually told a delegate that you're actually worth 0.7 cents to me.
Yeah.
Because that
So I don't have to answer your questions.
was essentially what his salary equated to for this person.
Yes.
Very despicable. But, wow, there's some negativity. You want to talk negativity? Let's get into a political podcast. Wowza.
Okay, next time.
Yeah. Do you want to have a political podcast? I don't. I do not.
No, there's enough of those out there right now, actually.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot out there.
So let's get back into the whole spiritual realm. And why don't we draw a card for our listeners for the week? Oh, we're going to open the magic box.
Do that one.
You are such a perv.
I'm not.
I saw that look. I saw that look.
You did not. Okay, what are we drawing for?
What is out there for our listeners for this week?
Oh,
Looks like that one right there.
that's not a good card.
It's not.
It is not. This is the card. 9 of Swords is your drama card.
Drama.
Drama.
So apparently you're going to watch a lot of social media, Brad's
Lots of drama.
posts and political posts. So there's your drama right there. I love that. So I'm going to explain what this card looks like. So it's actually
Okay.
like it's in a castle room. So stone wall with a big archway window looking out at a crescent moon. There's a woman lying in bed. Looks like she's asleep. She's wearing a blue night dress. And there are 9 swords laying atop of her, just in the air. It looks like she's dreaming of these 9 swords. So while she's dreaming of the 9 swords right now and the drama's coming, you can wake up from it and you can change it by being conscious and being mindful and being purposeful in what you do. So don't let the card discourage you. Just know that you have power over your own destiny.
It's tons of drama. The thing is I'm telling you, and I will say it again and again and again. If you come from a space coming from your spirit out, there isn't any fear. There isn't anything to worry about, right?
Yeah.
So everything will be calm and peaceful. And if there's anything to worry about, spirit will tell you. So just listen, be in tune with the other side, be in tune with your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, listen to your intuition, and don't let the things that are going on around the world bother you. Those people have to learn things from their perspective and they're doing the things they need to do, but you can raise the vibration and think about it. Everything's energy. If we all raise our vibration, those of us that are awake, that are healing, that are vibing high, if we keep vibing high and we keep changing, we're going to change them too. So it's just one little thing at a time every day. Just chip away at it, keep working at yourself, keep healing, keep your vibration high, and be full of gratitude, because love, gratitude, and abundance are all the same vibration. So if you want to pull those things to you, be in a state of gratitude. I just pulled out the book just to see kind of the keywords for this. And the very first is Drama Queen card, but it does say, which I find kind of funny, psychic or emotional vampire or victim.
Oh,
And we just talked about that.
yes, we did.
But these things, these negative things that are around us can leech our energy from us. So protect your energy and make sure in that protection, if anybody throws any shade at you, you throw it right back.
You throw it back or you reflect it back.
Reflect it back.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't need to get
You
into
don't need to consciously throw it back, but yeah, just protect your energy. It's so important. If you don't know, come see me and
Yep.
I'll teach you how.
You can book a appointment with Nan through the show notes. There's a link that will take you to her beautiful new website,
They
zenergysage.com.
did such a good job on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you can book directly from the website there. You can also get in touch with her on social media, and she'll help direct you to what you need. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and please, if you like the show, give us a great review. If you don't like the show, you don't have to leave a review, but let us know what we can do to be better.
Exactly. And you guys, thank you so much for taking your time to listen to us and to support us. We love you and we send you lots of good vibrations and energy. And we hope you have an awesome week. We'll see you
On the other side of the veil.